Kemba Nelson is the Pace 12 Sprint Double Champion. So can she make the Jamaica World Championship team for 2022? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops, which is about once a day here on Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button. And finally, leave your thoughts after this sports analysis where we break down the races and then we take a look at your comments. So stay until the end. You just might hear from yourself. Una ready? Yep, good to go. Jamaica's Kemba Nelson is the Pace double sprint champion over the women's 100 and 200 meters. In a dominant display of sprinting, the Oregon University standout, formerly of Mount Alvernia High in Montego Bay, Jamaica, won the women's 100-meter finals against a stellar lineup. The former 60-meter NCAA champion stood at the starting blocks beside Enzin Abba of California, Celery Barnes of USC, Jaden Mays, also of Oregon, Maisie Stevens of California, Jasmine Montgomery of Oregon, Mackenzie Pierre-Webster of UCLA, Jasmine Reed, also of Oregon, and Aisha Shahid of California. At the starter's gun, Kemba Nelson, known for her bullet start, was out like almost like Momo Rocket. Those of you who are not Jamaican, I'm referencing Shelley and Fraser Price, who is known for getting out of those blocks lightning fast. In fact, Kemba Nelson dominated within the first 15 meters of this 100 meters and simply extended her lead as the race continued. It was absolute dominance. Kemba Nelson won in a time of 11.05, running into a minus 0.1 wind. It Enze Abba from California running 11.13 to take the second spot. Celery Barnes running 11.21 to take the third spot from USC. Jaden Mays ran 11.28 to come fourth. Maisie Stevens ran 11.49 to run fifth. Jasmine Montgomery ran 11.50 to take the sixth position. Mackenzie Pierre-Webster ran seventh with 11.52. Jasmine Reed of Oregon also 11.73 to take the eighth position. And in ninth position, Aisha Shahid ran 11.33 seconds. Nelson then came back to take the women's 200-meter finals with another dominant display of sprinting prowess. She was off like a rocket, but this time the start was a little bit more even-keeled. We saw her emerging dominance within the first 80 meters of that 200 meters, and by the time she came off the bend, she had a clear half a meter ahead of the field. She then made her way towards the finishing line, and by, I'd say, 180 meters in, she was at least a meter and a half to 2 meters ahead when she went through that finishing line. Kemba Nelson won in a time of 22.74 with Enz Abba of California taking the second spot with 22.91. Shea Anderson ran 23.04 to take that third position out of UCLA. Iman Brown of Oregon ran 23.08 to take the fourth position. Jasmine Montgomery 23.28 to take that fifth position, with Adriana Tatum 23.43 to take sixth. Catherine Ledger 23.45 seventh. Mackenzie Pierre Webster 23.56 eighth. So Jamaica's Kemba Nelson is the Pace 12 double sprint champion over the 100 and 200 meters. An extremely impressive feat by any standards, because you see, Pace 12 Championships Outdoors is one of the top collegiate meets in the United States. So this is a big deal. But the question we're asking here at Peter Lloyd World really is, can she make the women's team, the sprint team, for the upcoming World Championships in Eugene, Oregon, when she gets to the national trials? She'll have to pass through a few people. Case in point, Keviona Davis, who just ran at 10.95. Brianna Williams, whose season's best I think is 11.03. Of course, Sharika Jackson, who just ran 10.92. White, who has also run sub 11. Ramona Burchell, who's doing extremely well. And then there's a possibility of the twins jumping in, Tina and Tia Clayton, as well as this young lady, Brianna Liston. So she's going to have to get by some seriously talented athletes. And I've not even mentioned the Natasha Morris and there are several other athletes that I could talk about. But here's the thing though. Kemba Nelson has been showing sparks of brilliance for the last 24 months. She is the former, she didn't win this year, but last year she won and set a collegiate record and a meet record at the NCAA 60 meter dash. Oh, in doing this, she set a collegiate and meet record of 7.05 over that 60 meters, which is extremely impressive no matter how you take it. And if memory serves me correctly, she did run a wind-assisted 10.91, I believe, last year, as well as, I think, an official 10.94. At this point, I'm just guessing, people. But I know that she's run some really impressive times, and she came to the national trials as one to watch, but faded badly. Now, the thing is, Kemba Nelson is currently running in the dreaded American collegiate scene. Now, when I say dreaded, what I mean is this is an extremely extended track and field scene. The athletes tend to be over. The workload is tremendous. There's a whole lot of running, which leads, of course, to the high possibility of injury. And then, of course, there's a dreaded burnout, because if your season starts many months before everybody else's season and you are running on a lot of races, there's a high possibility that by the time you get around to the national trials, you'll be burnt out, which is clearly what happened to her last year, the 2021 trials for the Olympic Games in last year. It was very evident that the Kemba Nelson that we all expected did not turn up. The same thing happened with Cherokee Young, Stacey Ann Williams, and several of them. So the question becomes, will her team manage her races better this year? And also I do think that last year there was also the possibility of being starstruck. I mean, she was standing up beside Shelley and Fraser Price, Elaine Thompson-Herah, Brianna Williams, all these other people who she'd be looking up to her whole for quite some time. Maybe I should put Brianna Williams in that, but you know what I'm saying. So that could have also been a part of it. Now, I'm hoping that this year her team will have managed her races better. She will have adjusted better to the long collegiate season, and they'll be a little smarter about her races, so she will not burn out, and we'll get to see her at her absolute best, because we didn't see her at her absolute best last year. But finally, I have to say it again. She has to get by a whole lot of remarkably talented, equally talented ladies because they're all running somewhere between, I'd say, 10.98 to about 11.05 roughly. I mean, they're all running roughly around the same pace. In fact, the national trials for the 100 meters and 200 is going to be fire. Believe me, people, it's going to be absolute fire. So, do I think she can make it to the team and make the team? I don't know. In this instance, I'm not going to comment. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think, based on the information I've given you, do you think that she can make the World Championship team for Jamaica? So let's take a look at your comments. King Dennis Robinson said, Kemba running exactly like last year, still leaning forward from the waist after 60 meters as a 10.9 to 11-second runner. Page 1 wrote, all our ladies outside of the big three is pretty even. Trials is going to be hot like the sun. I completely agree with you. Page 1, believe me, I agree with you. Wayne Foster says, big up Kim, and indeed you are always a blessing. She really is a blessing. So there you have it. Kemba Nelson is the pace 12 double sprint champion. Do you think she can make it to the World Athletic Championships to represent Jamaica? Do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Remember, the goal now is 20,000 subs here at Peter Lloyd World. Hit the subscribe button, please. Go and hit the notification bell. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And please, 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 please leave a comment. I learn a lot. And I really enjoy reading your comments. I think I need to answer more directly. You are kings and queens. I love you all. Bless up.